Recon Athlete Podcast is brought to you by Kreitz Market, The Social, and Focus Fit San Marcos. All right, Recon Athlete, episode 91. Sorry, y'all. I was having technical difficulties this morning. Chris Sanchez, Zach Lucero.
I was here. You're over here just thumbing around.
Paul Rodriguez on the line.
Trying to eat your eggs.
I was trying to eat tacos. I was trying to do, and I don't know what happened. I had some camera issues. Then I had some new Facebook update issues. I couldn't find the live button. You know, I felt like a grandpa.
Did you Google it?
Nah, I was just like messing around there, and then finally found it. So we're a little bit late. That's all right. We're all right. Okay. Paul Rodriguez, what's going on, man?
I don't know. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just turned you up, one.
Because I was talking over everybody, and I thought y'all were here. Y'all could hear me. I didn't know y'all couldn't hear me in the ears.
I had you, as they say in the industry, potted down.
Word.
So sorry.
So mira que bonito with the parted hair on TV.
Right? You like it, right? Looks good.
It's so handsome and so clean.
I know.
Put that picture on the cake.
You still on that cake, huh?
Yeah, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's dope, bro. You're just jealous. You're jealous.
It was good.
You're jealous because your mom wouldn't do that for you. She don't love you that much.
Let her.
She didn't love you that much, dude.
I wouldn't let her, dude.
Dang.
Because she don't love you that much. She likes your sister more. She loves your sister more.
That's my dad. My mom likes me more.
All right, Recon Athlete, episode 91. Like I said, Chris Sanchez, Paul Rodriguez, Zach Lucero. Shout out to Snoop Daniel, who's still in his room. He's probably hiding from Zach's COVID. We're going to do some college football today.
He's in there sleeping in the nude, probably. That's why the door's all bolted shut. Fight
Island, and then other topics as assigned. It's going to be warm today, man. I was thinking about going to the pool. We got a pool over here. They haven't closed it down yet, so I'm going to go chill out there. What are you going to do today?
Nothing. I got to do some laundry. I don't want to watch that fight tonight, though.
Yeah.
It'll be like the first UFC fight I watched in, like, forever.
Why? Why this one, though?
This is not really my my thing. Mm-hmm. But I have a friend who's watching it at his place, and he's invited me over. So
you're gonna wear masks?
Not gloves though. I'm gonna wear my 8th grade wide receiver gloves just in case he tosses me a wingy, and I can just one hand snag it. You know.
Yo, you're going to your friend's house to toss weenies?
What'd you say? You want to what my weenie?
I can't believe you're going over to your friend's house to toss weenies. It's just weird.
No, I said wingies.
No, that's not what I heard. No, I wish that was my favorite, but it's not.
Basically, Snoop wanted to let us all know that he enjoys the show. He's in there in full comfortability, listening to us.
Yeah. Shout out, Snoop. Sorry I'm eating, y'all. I didn't get to eat my tacos, dude. I'm starving, bro.
You ain't ate breakfast? It's already 10. It's already 11 o'clock.
Bro.
Yeah.
I didn't get to. Well, because I got here and then I turned the camera on and it was all chueco, dude.
And I was gonna stop and get some tacos on the way in, but I was like, no, I'm late. Paul's gonna be mad.
It still looks a little chueco. Paul, what do you think?
No, man, I think it looks good. I think you maybe think it's off because there's nobody in front of you directly and nobody to the right of Zach. So to me it looks normal.
Okay, I don't know. I'll fix it later. So that fight tonight, you're talking about the fight. You already. So let's go ahead and get that into the Fight Island then. Who's fighting again?
I don't know,
dude. I'm off, dude. I'm off this morning. I even got I knew earlier.
Is that one dude with the long hair? Is he Mexican?
I don't know. I knew earlier because I got a text message from betonline.com talking about like, hey, put money on this.
You
fight.
normally put money on everything, so
no, I don't.
We haven't seen you put anything on this fight.
I don't put money on anything.
It's probably an alert to say, hey, tell Snoop to bet on this.
Yeah, it was. It is. Snoop's probably blocked himself from that, whatever betonline.com is. Kamaru Usman versus Jorge Masvidal. That is the so Usman is riding a 15-fight winning streak. It began in December of 2013. So I guess he was 1-1 and then has won 15 in a row. That's pretty impressive. So Zach's gonna go watch the fight. Paul, where are you gonna watch the fight at? Home?
Nah, man. Me and the boys were getting together at my cousin's house, and apparently there's a 8-pound brisket and like some fajitas going on the grill. Like apparently the brisket's already on the smoker. Courtesy of Christ Market, sponsoring that watch party tonight. Why are you shaking your head?
For me?
Yeah, you.
Because
he's not invited.
Because I can't talk right now because I got food in my mouth. So Zach was looking at me and I was like saying I can't talk.
So yeah, we're getting together tonight, watch that fight. But we'll have James in a little bit to break down a couple of those fights. But what about you? Are y'all gonna shelter in place and watch that fight tonight? You want to sneak?
I don't know yet. I might have to be working over at the
okay.
Over at the Revelry.
Okay.
They were busy last night. I actually didn't work last night because I had some not real work. I had some regular work to do. And It took me all the way to 8 o'clock. I'm past 8 o'clock to get it done. So,
wow.
Yeah.
People got to get paid.
I mean, yeah. So I had to do that. Emo's saying that he thought Masvidal has COVID and is out, but I'm not seeing anything about that.
No, that's not true.
Not true. Fake news. See, Emo, that's what you got to see because he's always on Facebook, dude.
I'm always on Facebook. Yep.
When you're on Facebook, you get probably about 50% correct news and 50% fake news.
It's clickbait, bro.
Yeah, I think isn't he like replacing someone that had COVID?
Maybe that's the thing.
Yeah, there was a fighter. I can't remember his first name, but his last name is Brown, and that's the fighter who had COVID, who was like the number one contender for the welterweight championship that was going to fight Usman. But that fight that's apparently between Usman and Masvidal has been like in the makings for like months, and the reason that it didn't come to fruition was because Masvidal wanted so much money, and it's kind of ironic that it comes to the point where on 6 days' notice, the challenger to Usman's title, it comes down to test positive for COVID-19, and Masvidal has to be the late replacement and get the money he wants to make that fight happen tonight.
And I think we'll probably have James come on a little bit, but I think he told us the other day that it was Masvidal's trainer that had
Yeah, Mike Brown is the trainer who has
Mike Brown
who has the COVID-19.
Yeah.
But have y'all been watching that embedded, the UFC embedded film? They usually do like a 2 or 3 part series leading up to like the main event, and I think it started on Wednesday, and they basically just document how the fighters are like getting to Fight Island, like what the amenities are like, and it's a little bit more intimate kind of video documentary to like show the behind the scenes kind of events that are going on, and it's pretty cool, but it's thorough. Like the way they're testing and the way they're kind of quarantining everybody is pretty strict compared to what we've heard from other sports leagues. Like whenever they got to, like, you got to fly to Vegas, hunker down for 48 hours, do your test, come back negative for COVID, then you get to fly to Abu Dhabi. And then once you get to Abu Dhabi, you got 48-hour quarantine there after your test come back negative. And then you can't leave like the island area. I think they have like a perimeter that you can't go past. And like food gets delivered to your room. You can only train in like certain areas at certain times. It was pretty interesting to kind of see that behind the scenes look. Because, we really don't get to see that. We don't really get to see the fight.
Yeah. No, I didn't really get to see that. Zach, did you see it?
No, I don't have
Oh,
ESPN.
man.
Yep.
Remember?
You don't have ESPN?
Nope.
It's on YouTube.
Oh, I don't have
So,
that.
yeah, y'all go ahead and just discuss for a minute. I'm going to try to get James on the line.
Are you going to do it or you want me to do it?
Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm gonna try to do it. And if I can't do it, then I'll get you to do it.
So tell me about these tacos, Chris, that you're eating in the mic.
Let me tell you about them, bro. They're bean and egg, or bacon, egg, and bean.
Okay.
Lady said, she thought I said cheese, because everybody, everybody gets bacon, egg, and cheese, right?
Mm-hmm.
She said cheese, bacon, egg, and cheese. I said no, bean. She said, oh, you want bacon, bean, and cheese? I said, no, I want bacon, egg, and bean.
You want bean and cheese?
Right. And so I was just like, no, lady, I want bacon,
You want cheese
egg,
and cheese? You want grilled cheese?
bean. She kept trying to give me cheese. I don't
Yeah.
want cheese.
You don't want cheese on top of that?
No,
All right, keep going.
it's too much. There's too many calories. When you're my age, you got to cut calories, man.
I know when I'm not looking forward to 40.
Nah, bro. So they're from Tacorito over here. The Tacorito, as white people
As
say.
I call it.
Yeah. So I got bacon, egg, and bean on corn. When I got to the window, I thought she had said $5.21, but it was $5.41. So I had my $5 and my quarter, So then I was kind of embarrassed because she was like, "Oh, $5.41," and I was like, "Oh, hold on." So then I'm trying to get my extra quarter out of my cup holder, and then I can't get my quarter out of my cup holder, and so then I get like real anxious. And I get up this like mini panic attack because I can't get my quarter out.
Flustered.
So she's sitting there waiting for me, and I'm like, "Oh crap." Finally get the quarter out. So I give her $5.50, and she like counts out my 9 cents, and she's like, "Well, here's your change." And I was like, "Oh, you can keep that." And she was like, "Oh, thank you." And I couldn't tell if she was just like being like facetious about it or like was genuinely thanking me for a 9-cent tip. You know what I mean? Because I just didn't want to like have to touch 9 cents.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she was being for real for that 9-cent tip.
I haven't paid it in cash for anything since everything going on.
Yeah, because that's the point of this whole thing. The whole thing is the new world order. So we get rid of cash and we just have a cashless economic system.
At that same taco place, I got some tacos the other day and I didn't eat them in the mic like you, but I paid in card. I paid in card and the dude was like, "Do you have a pen?" And I was like, "No." And he said, "Is it okay if I sign for you?"
Mm.
He said, "Do you want to do a tip?" And I was like, no, I didn't want to do a tip, but I was like, yeah.
Yeah, because because that's what they do. They'll make you use your own pen or they'll sign for you.
Yeah.
And so I'm like,
it suckered me into giving them a tip.
Yeah, because what are you gonna say when they say, "Hey, you want me to sign for it? Do you want to leave a tip?" And they're like looking at you in the eye.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to be like
through the little spit protector.
Yeah. And what are you gonna do? Like say no?
Nah, not you. Bro.
Nah, man, I don't like you, dude.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I'm not paying for the insurance for the spit protector. I'm not paying for it.
But
so,
what'd you get? What's up?
No, I was gonna say I think we got James on the line now.
Is he there? James, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What's up, James? How you doing, brother?
Doing good, man. I just killed 2 tacos on my own, so I'm good to go.
What kind did you get? Like what type?
I like potato and egg and a bean and egg, but there's a certain order. I got to do the potato and egg first, then get that bean and egg after that. Wash it down with some coffee.
Okay, all right. Now, is that just like for taste, or are you like doing that for digestive reasons?
Oh no, it's just for taste.
You never know, man. You never know.
For the bowel movement.
Yeah. You never know. You got to stack them in a certain way in your stomach or something like that.
Help flush it out sooner.
All right, where'd you get them tacos from, Mr. Taco?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Taco, fool. Hey, I don't know if Zach. I don't know if you know.
Is this really James? I feel like every one of Paul's friends that we have on the line ever sounds the same.
Nah, bro, this is James.
Everyone sounds the same. Is this Paul or James or
Kalunga?
Yeah, right.
Hey, so James, before we get started on the UFC stuff, man, you said I think it was on the commentary for the watch party that you knew Kalunga. Kalunga is like kind of the connection between you and Paul, right?
Yeah, yeah. I've known Kalinga, shoot, years,
Yeah,
at
'cause
least
they're the same
15
person.
plus.
Listen to him.
So
Yeah, I've known Kalunga for a good while. I actually used to work with him at Christ Market for a good while too, and watching fights at his house. That's how I got introduced to Paul.
mhm.
You know,
Okay.
so yeah, he's the connect.
All right. So we got James Santa Cruz on the line here, Paul Rodriguez as well, and of course Zach Luceto and myself, Chris Sanchez here, Recon Athlete, episode 91. So let's go ahead and get into this Fight Island. James, what is your I don't want to get into the prediction, but let's not yet, but let's just talk about this Fight Island in general. Like, what are you expecting from Fight Island as far as the production goes?
Originally, I really wasn't into. I mean, it was an okay card, but of course, Masvidal being a late replacement, it kind of upped the interest into the fight. But I mean, the whole idea, because of the whole COVID thing going around, and props to the UFC for being, pretty much the only sport that didn't shut down, due to the COVID.
Yeah.
They were gonna put on a card, I think, in New York when everything started happening. Dana White was like, he was saying that it was gonna go forward no matter what. They shut it down last minute, and they like to run shit the way they run shit. So they were like, he was like, I'm gonna get an island. It's gonna be Fight Island. Nobody knew if he was BSing or not. And then eventually he announced that it was going to be over here in Abu Dhabi where tonight's fights are going down. I was hoping that it would be like a cage on the beach, like how they've been advertising. But, as far as like production for the pay-per-view and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure it's kind of hard to make that happen. So it would have been nice, but, I'm just glad they're still putting on events and stuff.
Yeah, I saw that too. I read about that. Some people were saying that they thought it was going to be like a cage on the on the beach, which would have been cool. It'd have been like a video game, been like Street Fighter, like Mortal Kombat or something. Like where you're fighting Blanca, with Ryu on the shores of Brazil or something like that. So that would have been cool. But then I read about like yeah, right, Tekken, and but I read that with the the sand and trying to make the cage level and all this other. So there's a lot of logistics to it that they said wouldn't allow the cage to be out on the beach. And then plus, I believe it's like 120 degrees over there or something like that. So they just didn't think it was going to be viable, which would have been fun. I mean, you see boxing. I mean, we see boxing outside. We see it, especially out in California. They'll have outside venues in the open air. And I'm sure UFC's probably had some open air venues before too. I just think it was just one of those things where the environment wouldn't allow for that to happen. But we'll see how it goes. It's going to be, it'll be fun. I think this has been a great promotion for UFC and for Dana White. But as far as the fight goes tonight, but in the main event, let's just talk about the main event. James, what are you expecting?
I'm expecting fireworks, man.
Yeah.
This other guy, Burns, I really wasn't interested, and unfortunately he, tested positive for the COVID. And it's pretty unreal, like, that Masvidal, because this fight has been in the making, like Paul stated earlier, and they had, like, a encounter, a few months back, and they were talking mess and stuff like that. And, Jorge, he's always, like, one of those guys that's just ready to go anytime, any place. So it's kind of unreal that, he passed all his tests. He actually weighed 190 pounds, like, I think on Sunday or Monday. And there was a picture that he had posted that he was on his way to Abu Dhabi. He said he stopped in Rome to get some pizza. So he's on his plane eating pizza, weighed 190 pounds, and he weighed in yesterday at 170. So he was able to cut the 20 pounds to make weight. I'm just hoping that doesn't affect his performance. I'm hoping he's not drained, which I don't think he'll be, but, you never know. That is a lot of weight to cut.
So I had a question real quick just about that weight cut, James. And do you think it's ironic that for our time yesterday, the weigh-ins were like around 9 o'clock for Masvidal? I think he had up until like 10 o'clock our time, Central Standard Time.
Now, do you think that the UFC did that on purpose to kind of give him almost 48 hours to kind of recover, to get back feeling comfortable getting food in the system? Do you kind of think that the UFC made the weigh-ins as early as they did to let Masvidal like get recovered?
Yeah, I did notice that they were kind of earlier than usual, but what they do as of late, like they've been doing this for a while because there was a lot of fighters, you know, like because the weight cuts in a lot of cases they're unhealthy. You know, they're just draining themselves and they don't have all their nutrients and stuff. And I've seen guys that walk up there and they look like they're just knocking on death's door. They're just completely drained. So they used to do the ceremonial weigh-ins like around 3 or 4 our time. They started doing them in the morning. That way they can give the fighters like the rest of the day to fuel up and all of that stuff. So whenever you see them, like when they're in Vegas and they walk up there and, you know, the crowd's there and they walk on the scale, now they just step on the scale, they announce their weight, and then they can go and do whatever. And they actually weigh in the morning. So when you see like the ceremonial weigh-ins and the crowd's all there, they're already weighed in. Everybody's good to go. So they normally weigh in the morning, but I don't think it's as early as it was yesterday because I was getting notifications and I was like, man, it's pretty early to be weighing in, but I don't think so. But you know, who knows? You know, because I'm pretty sure Dana White was shitting bricks when he found out. You know, the whole. I'm pretty sure he was racing to put together a main event. You know, and it is pretty ironic how you were saying because he was in a pay dispute with the UFC and a lot of back and forth on Twitter between him, Dana White, and a couple of other fighters. He felt like he was being underpaid, and he said for this fight he didn't meet his mark that he wanted to get paid for this one, but he said he got pretty close. So, you know, again, I'm just thankful that it's going forward.
Right.
And that was Masvidal that you had indicated was having like a pay dispute and trying to get a little bit more fair wages. Okay.
All right, we got James Santa Cruz joining us on the line here with Paul Rodriguez, of course. Zach Luceto here on his phone. I think he's on TikTok right now. I'm Chris Sanchez. Shout out to Snoop Daniel over in his room watching us, hopefully clothed. So, James, so you know, talk a little bit more about that weight cut. I mean, do you feel? I mean, you said you didn't feel like it was going to be a factor in the fight, but man, that's a lot of weight. And just being a boxing fan, I know, you know, from the boxing perspective, losing that much weight in such a short amount of time, I mean, that is, like you said, draining, and you know, could affect you know, his stamina. So, I mean, if Masvidal is to win this fight, do you think he's going to come out, you know, trying to end it early?
Yeah, I think we're going to see. I think it's going to be a good first round. I was watching some fights from Usman yesterday because Usman he's not somebody to overlook, and we also got to give props to him because he didn't have to accept this fight either. You know, and he was like, you know, because he was training for the other guy, but 6 days notice, he's like, yeah, I'll fight him. So you also got to give props to Usman for taking the fight. I don't know. I mean, I guess we're just gonna have to see. Some people, you know, I've seen it affect them, and they tend to gas out early. You know, of course, within the second or the third round. But you know, me personally, I don't see it going past the second, which I could be wrong, but. You know, we'll see. I guess as the fight wears on, I guess maybe has a greater chance of affecting Masvidal's stamina as the fight wears on.
Okay, all right. And are you going to be at the? Are you going to be part of this watch party tonight with Paul?
I actually wasn't invited.
Dang, nobody's invited, bro. I'm not invited. Zach's not invited. James not invited. Snoop's not invited. I don't think Paul. I think you make this up. I think you're making this up.
All right.
That's all he says. All right, James. Hey, man, appreciate your time this morning. And you know, we'll have you back on, talk some more UFC. Do you watch boxing too, or is this UFC?
Mainly UFC, but I do watch boxing as well. I just hardcore UFC.
Okay, cool, man. Cool. Well, you know what? We didn't even talk about any of the undercards. I mean, I'm sure you know about the undercards. Any undercard fights that you're looking forward to for our listeners here?
Yeah, there was this one that I was looking forward to. This guy Ozdemir, he's headlining the undercard, and I think that's on ESPN. But look out for him; he's a monster too. I wanted to give you guys my picks real quick for the
Sure,
main
man.
card as well. Just
Yeah, go
kind of
ahead.
go down real quick.
For sure.
I got the first fight is the women's flyweight, Paige Van Zant. She's a hottie, but she's been on the losing end for the past 2 or 3 fights. I think the UFC wants to get her back in the win column, so I'm gonna go for her. We got a rematch with. Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying she's a plus 550 underdog, so that's huge. But,
Okay.
Go ahead. I like that pick though. Go ahead.
Okay. We got Jessica Andrade and Rose Namajunas. This is actually a rematch that happened, I think, probably about a year or so ago, and I'm gonna go with Rose on that one just because she's a killer. The last fight, Jessica picked her up, slammed her on her neck, and knocked her out. I just don't see that happening again this fight. We got Peter Yan and Jose Aldo fighting for the bantamweight belt that was vacated by Henry Cejudo. And Jose Aldo, I personally, I'm like he's one of my favorites, but I think that he just passed his prime. Even though he's only 33 years old, he's had a lot of fights, and you know, being in that many fights can really take a wear on your body. So I'm gonna have to go with Peter Yan on this one. He's just a killer, and for being a bantamweight, that guy hits hard, man. So I'm going with him on that one. We have another rematch. Alexander Volkanovski, he's fighting Max Holloway. I've been watching the embedded, and Max Holloway, he looks just unmotivated for this fight for some reason. Maybe he's just calm, and maybe he's gonna turn the switch when the fight starts. But I just think that Volkanovski's gonna be too much for him, and he's gonna retain his belt. And then in the main event, of course, we have Kamaru Usman and Jorge Masvidal, and I have Masvidal by TKO in the second round.
Nice. All right. So
pretty bold, but the reason that I say that is because Usman, he fought Kobe Covington in his last fight, that's a great fight. It's a 5-round fight. They have it for free on YouTube, and he ate a lot of shots. Usman ate a lot of shots from Kobe Covington, which I think that if he leaves himself open like that, I think that Masvidal can put him away if he lands those shots. I think he's a harder hitter than Kobe Covington. But at the same time, Usman's nobody to overlook. That guy has heart. So it's going to be a great fight. I can't wait.
All right. So in review, just give us your winners real quick once again.
I got Paige Van Zant, Rose Namajunas, Peter Yan, Alexander Volkanovski, and Jorge Masvidal.
All right, there you go, folks. Those are the picks from James Santa Cruz, Ultimate Fighting Championship fan, super fan. I appreciate the time, James, and like I said, we'll have you on again, man. You want to shout out anybody before we let you go?
Shout out to you guys, man. I'm a big fan of you guys, and I really like what y'all got going on. Thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Thanks, man. Well, appreciate it, man. We'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Cool, man. Y'all have a good one.
All right, that was James Santa Cruz talking a little bit of UFC. You got Recon Athlete, episode 91, Chris Sanchez, Paul Rodriguez, Zach Luceto. Shout out to Coach Keller, who was on the watch party for a second. I still need to get him back in on the interview. Paul, what do you think about James's picks?
As far as the Peter Yan one, I think that's the only one I kind of disagree with.
Okay.
But everything else, I'm in line with. I got to definitely roll with Paige Van Zant because she's. Right? Yeah, pull up a picture of Paige Van Zant and you'll know what we're talking about.
Yeah, but I mean, that's like the women going for Oscar De La Hoya because he was cute.
I don't care. I don't care. But the rest of fighters that he picked, I'm in line with, and I'm rolling with Masvidal, bro. I mean, he's a first generation American, Cuban American, and my grandfather escaped Cuba's communist regime, and so I'm rolling with Masvidal with the Henson, bro.
So I mean, but that's the big one. I mean, Paige Van Zant is a plus 550 underdog. Mm-hmm. So I mean,
have you pulled up a picture?
No, I haven't. But I think I've seen one. All right, hold on. Let me Google. Zach Luceto, what do you think about those picks? Have you been paying attention?
What?
You think what?
What are we talking about?
Who you texting, bro?
My mom.
Zach's not going to get his participation trophy.
I know, right? Oh, okay. Let's see. Paige Van Zant. Oh, okay. I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I see what you're talking about.
She be posting nudies on her Instagram too.
Does she really?
I don't care.
She doesn't need to do that.
Oh, really?
She doesn't need to do that. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, she cute.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why we're betting on Paige Van Zant because she's cute. Or does she actually have a chance to win this fight?
I don't think she has a chance to win. I'm going for her. I'm just being honest.
If you were making a bet, though, would you be betting on her?
I'll put 10 to make 55. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll lay 10 to make 55. You're damn right.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Fair enough.
Tell me I'm wrong.
No, I mean, yeah. Yeah, 10 to make 55. I mean, I would do that. Zach, would you do that?
I would do that. I'll bet 15.
20. How much did you make if you bet 20?
110.
Do the math.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Do the math.
Just double it.
The guy that works for the comptroller that handles billions of dollars. It's kind of scary. I love you, Zach Luceto.
I don't bother myself with these petty change like that.
Zach just clicks buttons. He don't count it.
Hey,
he's like, do these numbers match? Okay, click.
Yeah.
Basically, I didn't go to school for accounting. I just do match. Look at patterns.
Yeah.
Like I'm in kindergarten.
All right. So with my technical difficulties that I had before the show, I wasn't able to pull up Paul's interview yet with Snoop last night.
It was a good interview. The 8 o'clock one was really good.
Do you want me to find it? I can find it. And I'm giving talks amongst yourselves. Let me give you a topic.
Well, we're
Topo Chico is neither Topo nor Chico.
Snoop and I are trying to go a different direction with the interviews from Paul.
Oh, really?
Try to make them a little more conversational and less like almost statistical.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the format worked really, really well, especially when we have multiple like time slots blocked off, so that Paul has more time to like expound. Snoop and Paul have more time to like expound on the players.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Paul did a great job as always.
Okay, Friday Night
Thanks, Zach.
You're welcome.
I think the other thing too is if Snoop will have me, which I'm pretty sure he would. Once the season gets started, God willing, me and Snoop, we really need to debate in depth that Westlake Lake Travis kind of ranking, because we kind of dabbled in it a little bit yesterday, and Snoop's with LT and I'm with Westlake on that end, and I think it would be a really great interview, maybe even like on its own, like a 30-minute or maybe even an hour show of just that discussion.
So was last night episode 13 or 14? Because Snoop said something about being at 14, and I only see 13 out here on the. I only see 13 here on the SoundCloud. Do y'all know?
I don't know.
Let's see. Let me try.
Snoop replied in the.
Oh no, that was.
I know I lied.
He said he was talking about Paige Van Zant is sexy AF.
Yes, she is.
That's what he said. Yeah, I don't think they have it up yet, man. Sorry, guys.
Paul, you want to give us a recap?
Yeah, give us a recap. Can we?
We'll just kind of
bring Snoop out here and redo the interview.
We just want to run it back real quick and just do it that way. I mean, we could surely get it kicked off. But one of the big things, I kind of mentioned this yesterday, was for the Oklahoma Sooners, and I probably shouldn't have done it on the horn, but it is what it is. But on July 4th, there's a big commitment by a 4-star recruit, recon rating of 5-star for Latrell McCutcheon, committing to the Oklahoma Sooners, formerly decommit of the Alabama Crimson Tide. But at the same time, the Sooners locked up and secured the number 1 dual threat quarterback out of Washington, D.C., Caleb Williams. So they just continue to get stronger at the quarterback position. So that was a really good thing for the Sooners. And then as soon as we move forward, go ahead.
Sorry. So Snoop said that it says 13, but it's right.
Okay, well, yeah. If you got the 8 o'clock hour, go ahead and run it.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find it here.
2/3 of Recon Athlete joining us now. 1/3 Zach Lucero, 2/3
Is this last
Paul
night?
Rodriguez
Yeah. Okay.
at Recon Athlete. Paul, appreciate you joining us again, family. Thank you so much.
Oh man, my pleasure. Glad to be back, man. But you got that Vaqueros hotline, man, and that's gonna make me want to put an order in just real quick.
Yes. Oh, they got great. They got great Sweezes enchiladas. That's my favorite. Now, Paul. Okay, so today's good because I got you like a full 10 minutes. So, and I want to work towards maybe like making the conversation more like conversational. So let's go 2 at a time, and then I'll try to drop in a quick clip if I have anything for recruiting news. By the way, Austin area recruiting, Recon Athlete, they turn it out.
Yeah, man, for sure. And let's just kick it off real quick with the big DB out of LBJ, Latrell McCutcheon, committing on Saturday, July 4th to Oklahoma University. So that was a big commitment for them that they picked up.
And real quick, I'll just say, a former Alabama commit with the ACL tear. He talked about how it kind of humbled him and made him refocus. And now, going to OU, that's no small slouch. And you see all of the media outlets, covering Latrell. But what are your thoughts, Paul, on McCutcheon and what makes him special?
I think McCutcheon's length and his speed is really what gives him an edge. And I think that his confidence that he has to play on hashtag Island 21 is, something remarkable, because not a lot of people can lock down one side of the field. And then, his partner in crime, Drew Makuba, can lock down the other side. So that tandem, and we've been talking about it, and I'll tease it again, man, when they play Lampasas in that district matchup, it's going to be something to behold. There's going to be a lot of talent on that field.
Yeah, October 26th, I believe. I think Alan Galbraith, who's still listening in his truck, he said he'd circle that on his calendar. He said that's when Bowie plays Lake Travis, and he don't want to see that. So I know I'm probably fronting him out. All right, Paul. Okay. Let's slowly more. What you got next for ATX recruiting?
Yeah, Anderson High's linebacker Aiden Thompson getting an offer from D3 school Grinnell College. I'm not quite sure what state they're in, but for him to get his second offer of the year is a good movement forward for Aiden.
Yeah, big shout out to Aiden, who's recovering from a broken arm that he suffered in a rugby incident. He was on the show with us a couple of weeks ago. What else you got?
And then one of your first guests of the night, Lucas Maru, Westlake DB, getting an offer from Southwestern Oklahoma State University. So I think he's picking up more offers as we move forward for, I think he was and defensive MVP in that 6A state championship game.
Yes, well, that was Michael Taft that got that, but he was named a preseason 26 6A defensive MVP by Dave Campbell's magazine. And I guess when you talk, me and Paul, you and me have argued about who we rank higher. And, me personally, I have Lake Travis ranked above Westlake, but the defense for the Shaps, you talk about Lucas Maru and what Coach Tony Salazar does, and that Westlake defense, it just, it's stifling.
Yeah, and I know you like Lake Travis a little more. I just like what the Westlake Chaparrals do in the playoffs, and so that was a really good offer for Lucas there. And then we'll kick it off joining your coverage area, our coverage area too, for Recon Athlete, Veterans Memorial in San Antonio. Defensive back Simeon Woodard getting another D1 offer from Louisiana Monroe. So I'm sure they're appreciating the shine down in San Antonio.
Yeah, and they'll be playing the likes of Dripping Springs, Seguin, the brand new Kyle Buda Johnson School. So we do have some Austin defectors that'll be going down and playing Veterans Memorial. So we will get a little bit more exposure to Woodard and that team.
Definitely. And then the man, creating all kinds of social media buzz. The guy who never stops, the work doesn't stop. LBJ Jaguars defensive end Brendan Jones picking up back-to-back D1 offers this week, one from Tulsa and another from UTSA down in San Antonio.
Yeah, it seems like the ball is continuing to roll for him, and we see the momentum a lot when guys get one offer. It triggers a bunch else, but Coach Fenner has a good one in number 8. What else we got? This is, by the way, Paul Rodriguez, Recon Athlete. We're talking ATX recruitings and offers this week.
For sure. Austin High quarterback getting an SEC offer. Austin High quarterback Charles Wright receiving an offer from Arkansas this week as well. And then also Lake Travis's running back, RB1, Lake Travis's running back RB1 Weston Stevens picking an offer from Valpasario. Big news for him, and then his cohort in the backfield, Marcelo Alanis getting an offer from Kenyon as well. So Lake Travis's receivers a few weeks ago getting big offers, and now their running backs getting offers. What do you think about how that matchup is going to shine since you have them picked ahead of Westlake?
Oh, yeah. Well, Lake Travis, and big shout out to them. They will be under a new offense with Coach Tony Mangino running the helm there. But, yeah, their running backs, they're so underrated. With Weston Stevens, he's kind of like more of a quiet performer. But when you look at some of his playoff performances, multiple touchdowns, now has the D1 offer for Sam Houston State. And then Marcelo Alanis, man, he's been nothing but productive, number 24. He hadn't been able to stay healthy the full season, but when he's been able to contribute, he's done so well that they've made the likes of someone like Wesley Irwin have to move over to the defensive side and play linebacker. And then on top of that, you also throw in a player like Gary Gordon. So Lake Travis, like I said, I know I got Lake Travis ranked above Westlake. I don't know, maybe familiarity more so, but just from the guys who have been on varsity and already made a name for themselves. For me, that's what gives them the edge over Westlake. But anyway, let me have to harp on that. And big shout out to Charles Wright, Austin High quarterback, the Iowa State commit, getting the SEC offer from Arkansas. And no doubt that has to come into play. Definitely working with Coach Chooks. Chooks Speeds. It's fun to be fast. All right, talking ATX recruiting with Paul Rodriguez. What else you got?
And then we'll go back down to Hays County and dip real quick into Wimberley, who had a deep playoff run this past year. Wimberley wide receiver Christian Marshall getting an offer from D1 UT Permian Basin. And then we'll just hop on over to Regents School in Austin. Offensive lineman Griffin Clausen getting an offer from Valpasario. So they're trying to, garner a bunch of talent as well as private school talent. And then, we'll finish it up with the last two big offers on offer Friday. Former Stony Point product and now Del Valley wide receiver Braylon James. This is a class of 23 kid, so he'll be a sophomore going into next year, getting an offer from D1 Illinois State University. And then the man of the hour, his father played here, class of 22, so he'll be a junior. Wide receiver for Del Valley Cardinals, Caleb Burden, getting an offer from the national champion Clemson Tigers of 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's huge. And just real quick on those three, Braylon James, I know Stony Point kind of heartbroke that he left, but he's going to have an incredible mentor. And I can't believe I'm going to say this, but Caleb Burton will be mentoring somebody younger, and it will be Braylon James, and they're already best of friends. I think because he got the offer, I can finally put out some content of Braylon from practice. So look for that this weekend. And, and Caleb Burton, again, to be able to play where your father played, just to be offered to play. To be able to play. Oh, you know what? Wow. I always get Syracuse and Clemson mixed up. So, oh my gosh. There I go again, because I was like, his dad played at Syracuse, not Clemson. So I'll go ahead and own that. But
Clemson, big time wide receiver, though. You got some big names Higgins, coming out of that school. Exactly.
Yeah, T. Higgins. I know they've had more. So anyway, big shout out. Paul, real quick, where can they find you on social?
Man, you can find us on every platform at Recon Athlete, and that's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, as well as YouTube. We have our podcast every Saturday morning at 10:30 a.m. and every Wednesday at 8 p.m. You can hear, the satire from Zach Lucero. And then the guy who drives the bus is Chris Country Breakfast Sanchez. And I'll chime in here and there for some, more in-depth information.
Yes, comedy relief, etc. Paul Rodriguez, Recon Athlete. Paul, thank you. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Snoop.
All right.
Shout out to Snoop Daniel and, of course, Flex Friday Nights and the Horn for having these knuckleheads on every Friday night. Paul Rodriguez, that was a really good one. Really good one, man. Good job, bro. Paul, you there? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah. Did you have us on mute?
Okay, I said, no, I just want to say thank you.
Yeah. All right, I did want to see. I don't know. I was in the middle of taco eating, but talking about McCutcheon and Makuba. Did you see that? Did y'all talk about the tweet that they put out there? That Makuba put out there.
Which tweet?
I think Dave Campbell's retweeted it. It was he was saying that him and Latrell are the top, our nation's top two guys or duo. in the backfield.
The top
in
the top
the
duo up in
nation.
the state.
No, he said in the
Yeah,
nation.
I mean that very well could be.
He
I
said in the
mean,
nation.
I've personally we've had McCutcheon rated as a 5-star recruit since the beginning of his junior year. Unfortunately, he got hurt. And
Makuba, man.
And Makuba started out as a 3-star recruit, and at Recon Athlete we graded him as a 4-star recruit. And what really elevated Makuba to climb to a 4-star recruit is actually when he dropped his ACT score, and I think he scored like, man, I could be wrong, but I think he scored like a 40 something. Mm-hmm. And as soon as he dropped that on Twitter, that's when all these Power 5 schools started coming in, and that he started getting offers. I think like Boston College and Clemson and all of these huge offers from these Power 5 schools came to light when he dropped his grades. And so for everybody out there who wants their kid to go play at a big school, they're probably going to have a GPA over 3.5, and they're probably going to have to score in the high 30s to get these big schools. If their talent's marginal. But if you have the talent like Makuba does, and you have the grades like he does, I mean, you skyrocket, and that's pretty evident that you have here with those two young men. And then on top of them dropping the classification 4A, I think is even a more tremendous feat. But for them to be, named the top duo in the nation, I think is very honorable, and I don't disagree with it at all. The question is, will the supporting cast be there to support them to make a deep playoff run? That'll be there to be seen because they have a very big, powerful team in their district with Lampasas, who I think is ranked either 4th or 5th in 4A D1. So that'll be a very good test to see how they handle that receiving core. And Lampasas has D1. They have a D1 quarterback. They have D1 offensive lineman. They have D1 receiver. So it'll be a good matchup once that date comes in October.
Yeah, it's gonna, and hopefully we can have that day. So keep wearing your masks out there.
Say that again.
So hopefully we can have that day. So you keep wearing your masks out there, people.
Yeah.
All right, Recon Athlete, episode 91. Chris Sanchez, Paul Rodriguez, Zach Lucero. Shout out to Snoop Daniel. Shout out to everybody that's on the watch party as well. Speaking of having football in the fall, we've had is it the Big Ten say that they're only going to do conference this year? We had Ivy League completely cancel their fall sports, and now the Pac-12 has said that they're going to do conference only. I haven't. Have y'all seen any more other than that in the past couple days since Wednesday? I think that's the only ones that I've seen.
I've just seen that the SEC is meeting about it, so they're probably going to be the next ones to make some sort of announcement.
So, SEC, as the SEC goes, do you think as the Big 12 goes, Paul?
Did you say the SEC or the ACC?
SEC, Southeastern Conference, right?
I think the SEC is going to probably be the last one. I think whatever the Big 12 does, I think it'll be independent. I think everybody's going to wait till late July for the rest of the conferences. Mm-hmm. But no, and I think, I'll be honest, I think the SEC may wait till like early August. But I think the Big 12 will make a decision before that, just, so they can have a better understanding of what's going on holistically. But it's hard right now to judge that. I think the Pac-12 and the Big Ten playing in conference only makes a whole lot of sense. And, that's something that I talked about for high school football is just play district only games. Mm-hmm. Just keep your teams in that, somewhat geographical area. Some districts are a little bit bigger. Like Lockhart plays teams like all the way to Kerrville, which geographically it's very far. But, in the Big 12, if you want to just, put some kind of scope on it, they're going to play teams like from West Virginia and and not only in Texas, but West Virginia is such a far away from this area. And to just play conference only, I think is the smartest thing to do. But that's going to affect a lot of teams who are, FCS level with the paydays because, those big schools go in there to pay schools to get a W. And, so there's going to be some revenue loss for the smaller schools. And we saw Stanford having to, do a reduction for their programs. And I think that may happen at a lot of other schools that are kind of tight for money, especially with Stanford being a private school.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's going to be, the motivating factor for a lot of teams is that money. I mean, the universities, everybody's losing money at all this. But I don't know. I think the smart thing to do right now is to go down to conference only, and then just kind of see what the numbers look like. And I mean, we just had another major holiday, 4th of July last Saturday, so I'm sure there was a lot of people out. I'm sure there was, a lot of people doing things. I mean, after Memorial Day, we saw a spike, and so I'm wondering, what the spike will be like after 4th of July. And I say that we saw a spike. We're seeing the spike every day. And I think also the death toll will have a lot of say on what's happening. Because it's kind of low, or it's relatively low to the numbers, but it's that kind of lags behind the positive tests. But just keep wearing your masks out there, people. Try to stay socially distant, and hopefully we can keep the economy open, and hopefully keep the football season on track. So we'll see. All right, Recon Athlete, episode 91. Chris Sanchez, Paul Rodriguez, Zach Lucero. Anything else we want to talk about college football, Paul?
No, not yet, man. It's just I'm very concerned for the college football season, and I said it on Wednesday. Like, I don't think we're going to have a season in the fall. I think if there's going to be a season, it'll be in the spring.
Okay,
that's just the way I feel. I really don't. I don't see logistically how you're not going to have kids on campus. Like, I don't think there's going to be students on campus. I think it's all going to be done virtually. And you don't really, you can't make the argument that it's okay for student athletes to be on campus, but it's not okay or it is okay for student athletes, and it's not okay for regular students. It doesn't make sense.
True. Zach?
I think I feel like having sports in the spring is like a very like if you're looking at it from the base level, it's like a definitely like viable like way around things and like potential solution. But I think in terms of club and select sports, that you'll start to see a lot of conflict. I mean, you already see it already in soccer, where a lot of I talked about this with Snoop yesterday on the show, a lot of kids that play at the highest level of their soccer club don't play high school soccer because it conflicts with their club schedule or club season. And that's how you get recruited, is through club, not through high school, not anymore. And I think if you move fall sports into spring, the majority of the major combines and camps for football are in the spring. Like Nike, the opening and things like that are in the spring. And they have potential of some of the top guys not playing in meaningful high school games because they're going to a camp where they'll potentially better themselves in the future. And then in terms of volleyball, and that's the major club season is the spring, and that's where you're going to national tournaments and national camps and having recruiters come and watch you play. Is through the club scene in volleyball, and that, so you'll again have a lot of your big time pieces and the names that make your high school team potentially missing out on games to go play club games with their team.
Yeah. And so at the high school level, and I've had a little bit of a conversation with Snoop about it last night too, and he mentioned that a lot of people are expecting if fall sports does go away at the UIL level, at the high school level, that we'll see 7-on-7 tournaments. We'll see a lot of these things that have been popping up, lately,
like independently,
independent, like select leagues. I mean, I don't know if they could actually do a full on football, a league, but 7-on-7 for sure. You could do, like you said, volleyball, and I don't know. I mean, we see it. We're seeing kind of it right now at the college level with baseball. The Round Rock Harrymen. That is
the San Antonio Flying Chocolates.
It's a college. It's a collegiate league.
But this
with college players.
These leagues happen every summer. This
Right.
is like it's like
Right.
that is nothing new. But
No,
I think
it's-
in terms of like adding these 7-on-7s and other things like that's bringing something new.
Right. And I'm saying, but my point was going to be that you can take that model and turn it into the high school level.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that you still have these high school kids getting out there and really just a lot of them want to get tape. They want to show.
And that's what those collegiate leagues are for. Is for the MLB scouts.
Yeah, they want to get tape. For their high school recruitment. So I mean, I don't know, Paul. Would you expect any kind of like side leagues or independent leagues if high school football were to go away for the fall? Could you see that 7-on-7 stuff happening?
Yeah, man. My short answer is definitely, but here's my long answer, and my long answer is that regarding high school student athletes, like the decision needs to be made by the family, by the household, like who can participate. And I think that's what the UIL and the school districts really need to take into consideration, is that if the student athletes say we want to play and the UIL doesn't restrict them, then I think the UIL should follow the guidance that the parents are putting out there, because ultimately, because the children are not adults, it's up to the parents. And if the parents feel comfortable, they should let them play their season. And if it needs to be a reduced season, fine, district only. And that's for volleyball, for football, for any fall sport. But it's complicated, man. And I understand there's a lot of risk, and I understand that COVID is a real thing. But at the same time, like you're potentially impacting kids' future to go play at the collegiate level if you don't allow them a season to participate. And I understand that private 7-on-7 or private, sports leagues are a great thing, but it's not the sport. For volleyball, I think it's doable. For football, you can't measure 7-on-7 tournament play versus live games being played in full pads. It just doesn't make sense. And so it's a complicated thing. We'll see. But I hope that the UIL really does, take into consideration the wishes of the family, because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. And just as a side note, the UIL did approve remote learning individuals to participate in UIL activities as long as they meet the requirements by the UIL. So that's something to take into consideration. What does that mean? That means that you can do virtual learning at home and still go practice and participate in the UIL sanctioned sporting event.
Yeah, but don't expect a bus to come pick you up. All right. Although
Why would you say that?
Some people will, because you'd be surprised, dude. You'd be surprised. Yeah, like the demands of some of these parents. Like I can't take my kid to the. Yeah, y'all have to come pick him up. And some school districts will send a whole bus just to pick up one person. Not very economically sound decisions.
Well,
all right. Recon Athlete episode 91. Chris Sanchez, Paul Rodriguez, Zach Luceto. Shout out to James Santa Cruz for joining us, talking about UFC. Y'all make sure y'all watch that fight tonight if you can. It's pay-per-view, right? Or ESPN Plus?
It's the same thing.
It's
right?
ESPN Plus pay-per-view.
But it's pay-per-view,
yeah. It's pay-per-view.
So you have to have ESPN Plus and then pay? Or
Yep.
Oh, dang. Yeah. You're just trying to get us everywhere, huh? Don't get got.
People pay.
Yeah, they will. They will. All right.
Snoop's paying, he said.
That's for sure.
Snoop said he's buying it here. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if I'm not working tonight, we'll see. I might be working. Zach, you got any shout outs?
Yeah, shout out your shirt.
You like that?
Yep.
Colorado.
It's cool.
I was in Colorado actually about this time last year. Yeah, it was in July. There was actually a baseball game. I went to Astros, Colorado Rockies. Went to see my homegirl Kim. She was working at Uchi Denver, so I hooked up the Uchi. You ever had Uchi?
It's like sushi, right?
Yeah.
But it's like expensive, right?
Yeah. She works up there, so it was dope. Had a good time. Paul Rodriguez, shout outs.
Yeah, man. Just shout out to everybody. Just to be safe and take care of each other, and hopefully we can have some sports soon because I'm bored.
You ain't watching no golf?
Man, I can only watch golf and UFC so much. I mean, I try my hardest
Yeah.
to watch the boxing, the Top Rank boxing on ESPN
Yeah.
every week, but it's like I need more. Like
Yeah.
I can't just deal with what we got. I mean, I appreciate it, but I want more.
Yeah. And I got just real quick as a side note, just because I want to tell y'all, I got fitted for clubs yesterday morning. So I got some Ping G410s irons coming here in a couple weeks, and I'm gonna be a lot better, I think, with the clubs that have been fitted to me. So Emo and Paul Partita, y'all better watch out. It's gonna be y'all need to step y'all's game up. All right, Paul.
Man, dude, you're high dollar, bro.
I am, dude. All right, Paul, do your thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, if y'all join the podcast, please like, subscribe, and comment down below if you'll get fitted for Ping Golf Club. Everybody on YouTube, hit the bell. We'll let you know when we upload. We gone.